trombone player here, 2 steps outside the 50. Get where you belong. There you go. So that alignment is better. I don't know that if you can feel that as you're going through that, but that is monumentally cleaner. Monumentally cleaner, okay? Let's move on to the next chunk.
One more. Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, stop and reset that. Stop and reset that. Reset that whole thing. Here, play and hold here, look up at me. Play and hold your first note of the march there, please. Everyone's favorite. Here we go. Play and hold, 2. Ready, and Obviously you're in unison there, but we still need more of those middle voices to help beat that sound up some. Right now I've got a lot of soprano sound, I've got a lot of tuba sound. I need you to pull those middle voices out. So it's kind of like if your band sound is sort of shaped like an hourglass. You get a lot of soprano and then hardly any of this inner sound and then a lot of the bass voice. Pull that out so that it's more like a square. Here we go. Play that again. More if you have a second or third on your part, trombone, tenor sax, baritone, etc. More of that. Here we go. Play that first note for me. Ready, and Now, can you play just the first 2 measures? D, D, da. Play that for me right there, and with a lot of depth in the middle of the sound. 1, 2, ready, now. Yeah, so I want those notes to stand up tall. Okay, right now I want those to be like a Wendy's French fry, not McDonald's. You understand what I'm saying? Like a picket fence. D, 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 not blah, blah, blah. Here we go. Do it again. Sorry for the crude French fry analogy. Here we go. 1, 2, ready, now. Yes. Now, on that whole note, give me about 10% more length. So I don't want it to touch the half note, but I want it to go 10% more. So D, D, da, as if you were announcing something. Something's about to happen. Here we go. 1, 2, ready, now. Good. Now, can we get deeper into the whole note now? Not necessarily louder. I want the air to be longer. Here we go. Last time. 1, 2, ready, now. Yes, and now maintain that type of style throughout the march if your notes have a hole in them, like a half note or a whole note, okay? Don't let them touch. More depth, especially in the middle voice, okay? Here we go. Through this maneuver here that we're doing, obviously individual assignments are the short-term issue. The long-term issue is the quality of the execution for those of you that have to execute very quickly, i.e. you have to execute 1, 2, or 3, or 4 times in a row. You've got to maintain those marching fundamentals as you go through all that stuff, because what happens after you execute the first time is your body starts to break down as you prep to go into the next fundamental. You got to make sure you don't lose any height whatsoever. I call that don't lose height in the direction change. Try to gain height from your waist, not from the distance from the turf to your heels, okay? Let's try that opening chunk again to where y'all end up facing south, which is the music building. I want to see this wrap together again. Here we go, with good stop. Yeah, stop right there. Even just that turn isn't together. Just do that much. Just do that much. Just D, 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 ya, da, and then wherever the turn is. And then let's make sure our alignment and our body, our execution is all good there. Here we go. Yeah, it's better, but the quality of what happens next starts with that turn, okay? If we lose our alignment just turning what would be north, which is that way, then we've got a problem, okay? Let's go forward this time. Let's keep going. Let's keep going. Every time you execute, cover down. Now cover that down. Okay, stop. Good, good, good. Yeah, can you guys just push the company fronts back to where that ends? So right before that step off, push it back to, I guess, the fronts on the company front ones on the 45 or 50. You know, whatever it is. Now let's fix this left and right and get our good diagonals here, because success, look at me. Success in this kind of an active maneuver, which this is, it is very active, active being defined as lots of marching fundamentals happening in succession, right? Your alignment in all of this and covering this down as you go through is where success is defined, not just being able to rope through it and slinky through it, okay? Here we go. Let's just get this covered down. Let's find exactly where this belongs. Are we on the hash or one step off? We're on the hash. So those long ticks that are extending from the hash, so horizontally parallel to the yard line, if you're outside the hash, you should be 6 inches outside that tick. That tick is 24 inches long. So that'll help you too on both sides of the field. Okay, and then on these numbers down here, do we know our relationship to the numbers yet or no? So how far into the number are you? Do we know? It should be 24 inches with the way you're standing. So look at the number, look at the 0. Okay, if you look at the 0, so clarinet player and bass tuba player, y'all turn around and look at the 0 behind you. See the 0? So the white paint that's in the middle of the 0 is exactly 1 foot. Okay, so at the top of it, you see that where the white paint, that's exactly 12 inches. So your right foot should be another 12 inches right there. Boom. Okay, and then the next folks, in the bottom of the number, do you know your relationship there? I'm gonna assume you do, but I'm gonna tell you anyway, you're 12 inches below. Your right foot is 12 inches below. So scoot to your left. It's not your left foot. Scoot to your left, trumpet player. I know you're working it out. But the middle of your right foot is 12 inches below that number, right? And then what we're gonna discover here is these little files down here are too close to the sideline. Are we supposed to be 4 off here, I would imagine? It's 2? Okay, can we step this off from the sideline there? Okay, put your heels together. Yep. 4 steps, 2 steps, either way you're too close to the sideline. Okay, and that cleans up some of these diagonals here. Here we go, stand at attention please so we can check these diagonals. Okay, now look left and right at your company front alignment. If you're not on a yard line, make sure the ball of your foot is exactly 12 inches away from a tick that's either behind you or in front of you. The second tick. Okay, can we reset to the front field here and then stop right here, please? All right.
Up on count 616.
Stopping in company fronts. Cool. Yeah, just reset that. On the hop.
That whistle is painful.
So we're about to institute a set of rules into the Brownsboro High School Band. Are you ready? Rule number 1, never eat on an empty stomach. Just kidding. If you don't think about it, it makes total sense. What you need to make sure that you're doing, rule number 1 is every time you execute, you need to immediately cover down. Every time you execute a fundamental, you have to immediately cover down, okay? Rule number 2 in this drill, when somebody passes in front of your face, or you end up occupying the same place as someone else, both people have to sort of give. Right now, what it looks like from my perspective is you have a stubborn person and then someone who's having to deal with the stubbornness. So if someone is having to make some sort of move around you, if there's some extra calisthenics involved, cooperate with them. Okay? Because there's all this running around and dodging and stuff, and if both of you would cooperate a little bit, it would solve it. When the Aggie Band does the four-way cross, nobody's right. Everybody assumes they're wrong and everyone adjusts to another person, and then when you watch it, you don't see much of that running around. Okay? Here we go. Do that same exact thing. Be cooperative. The moment you execute any fundamental, immediately cover down, especially those of you that are marching toward the sideline after this initial turn. Okay? Here we go. Cover down. Now cover down. Look both left and right and front to back. Yeah. So this trumpet player who's standing in between the number 5 and the 0, Zoe. So what are you having a problem with there? Is it that there's somebody in the wrong place, or is your file in the wrong place? If you don't know, I'm not blaming you. I'm just trying to solve. You're having to twist to get around somebody. Who are you crossing with? Is it a tuba player? It's a bass drum? Oh, so that's the worst thing ever. Let's try it again. Let me see that again. So the bass drummer that crosses with Zoe as she's coming down the field here may have to twist so that she can clear. Okay? But let's make sure this isn't Zoe's fault first. Now cover down immediately. Yeah. Yes. Okay, so bass 1, when she crosses with you, you're going to have to twist that way, okay, to create some space, because there's not enough between you and the baritone player for her to squeeze through there. It's not her, it's you, or it's your equipment, rather. Okay, can we try that again? And then the baritone player that's, make sure that your interval is good. You're closing the interval behind you. Okay, you need to be pushing further north, which is that way. Let's try it that way and see if we can get Zoe to survive this move. Now cover down. Okay. Okay, Zoe, so now the next part of this is don't move your horn. Okay, leave your horn up, and then so look at me, Zoe. So now that they're kind of learning how to get out of your way and create a path for you, your path is not going to be straight. It's going to kind of swim like this, okay? So just see if you can hold up good attention, not break your upper body down, and just kind of weave your way through that, okay? Because what happens is when you get caught is when your arms go down and your horn moves, okay? You want to eliminate that, okay? All right, one more time, please. This time, let's continue, please. Cover down. Cover that down in these long fronts. Hit the yard line with the heel.